Trump's elected GOP supporters who showed up to his trial sporting the red ties are comparable to the uniform hourly fast food employees thrown to the unhappy mob of customers by the management to explain to them that their ice cream machine is broken. In this clip from a House hearing, Lauren Boebert responds to criticism and gives her explanation as to why her choice of presidential candidate appeared to be drifting off to sleep during his trial.
Now let's look at public reporting. I'm only going to talk about public reporting. His criminal trial started on April 15th, and here's a summary of the press reports. On his first day of his trial, Reuters reported that Trump appeared to doze off during jury selection. On April 16th, it was reported that Trump dropped his head inside the courtroom, keeping his eyes closed before jolting his head upright. On April 19th, the New York Times reported Trump's eyes remained, quote, closed for extended periods during the final day of jury selection. On April 22nd, MSNBC reported that Trump's lawyers were fighting to keep him awake. On April 30th, NBC and the New York Times reported that Trump nodded off for significant portions of witness testimony, and as we all know, basically kept his eyes closed for hours and hours on end. On May 9th, Trump's eyes remained closed for many minutes, and Trump later, of course, dozed on and off. And the reports go on and on. May 13th, Trump was, quote, asleep during the afternoon session. On May 14th, a political reporter said Trump slouched in his seat and closed his eyes and his mouth. Now, here we have a photo of Donald Trump, of course, through some of his trial.
And if in my remaining 1 minute, I could request, every so often, Mr. Garcia, maybe you could just lift up that picture of our President Trump sleeping. As you say, I think he's praying. But if he is sleeping, he certainly looks pretty while he sleeps. Maybe it's an endearing moment of prayer, though. I know when I fall asleep on airplanes, my mouth kind of drops open, and his mouth is kind of tight-lipped. So maybe it's just a somber moment of
I mean,
thought.
He's sleeping. It's been reported by multiple press outlets.
I was in the courtroom today,
sleeping.
and I could see why someone would fall asleep, just like George Conway fell asleep today. In the court hearing. It's kind of slow in there. It's not as exciting as the House Oversight Committee, but I just wanted to say that's a lovely picture you have of President Trump, Mr. Garcia. Thank you. And I yield.
And it's also not as exciting as being in a live theater watching a theatrical performance. You're with your date. It's also not as exciting as that. In fact, I think praying is the only excuse that Lauren Boebert didn't use.
If only she had fallen asleep during Beetlejuice, which is a wonderful play, by the way. If only she had fallen asleep, she wouldn't have gotten into such trouble.
Well, I know that's the only way I can get to sleep.
I was gonna say maybe she needs a little more Jesus in her life. I don't know.
You know what? I should. This shouldn't shock me anymore. It really shouldn't. We've been through 8 years of this stuff. When you think back, okay, 8 years, and yet I see this kind of stuff, and I think, and this is what our tax dollars are paying for. How do these people get into office? This is all rhetorical. I know we don't have 16 hours or 8 as the jury did to go.
Or high IQs, or the ability to read.
I just don't understand all this. I really don't get. I knew someone was going to say he was praying. I knew it. And of course, it had to be her. And I can't even believe she can show her face after, her whole thing, but it didn't matter. I don't know. I'm disgusted, Tom. I'm disgusted.
Well, my job here is done then.
That's all I got.
Well, we really do get the politicians we deserve, because the people are out there and they're voting for this kind of ridiculous person to be in office. How bad is it? I think any one of us could sit in Congress or in the Senate and be more effective than the people that are in there now. So
here's the problem, David. I would be there saying, "Are you kidding me? We're wasting time on this crap." You know what I mean? I am ruined for 9 to 5, and I am ruined for being a politician. I couldn't put up with it. I couldn't stand it. I wouldn't want to waste the rest of my life. I wouldn't want to waste any of my time.
I was in politics and political campaigns for 10 years, and I'm with you on that one. And I worked for mostly Democratic campaigns as well,
Mhm.
which
The
just
bar-
shows you how fucked
Yeah.
up things are.
The bar on doing better than the members of Congress is not a high one.
Yeah.
No, it is not.